morning, good afternoon, good evening. So this is an interesting topic, let's be real, and I feel like it has a ton of relevance within the landscape of our current society, you could say. So authenticity, what actually is it? Realistically, to be authentic, it is to be true to yourself. You know, I'm pretty sure that's along the lines of the actual definition, and when it comes down to it, authenticity is the essence of who we are, but how we present ourselves to others. And why it is so incredibly important is, as humans, we are evolving beings. I've spoken of this previously, but we have security measures. Our receptors of understanding authenticity are at a level where we are constantly looking for these kind of traits which make up inauthentic characters. And why that's relevant is, you know, this happens subconsciously. That's the most fascinating part about it. You know, our fight or flight kind of aspects within us, how we note, you know, I'm very much against judgment and prejudiced opinions and being able to present kind of negative opinions on people. But when it comes to authenticity, it's something that cannot be matched. It is, honestly, I can't even begin to express the importance of it. And why I believe that is, and why it is important, is whether it's, you know, anything from a job interview through to wanting to make a new friend, or, you know, you're prospecting a client as somebody who's in business. It is the essence of being able to actually represent yourself in a way that people can connect with. And I think jumping back from that, you've got to understand yourself, you've got to be in tune with yourself, you've got to have this self-awareness, you've got to give yourself that chance really to get to know who you are. And that takes a lot of time sometimes, but it's incredibly interesting noting how frequently inauthentic characters come throughout our lives. And this will happen frequently. We all know somebody who we've just felt was a little bit off, someone who's just trying to be somebody they're not, and that happens frequently. You know, like I said, I don't believe on, you know, spreading negative judgments on people, but when you are not authentic, when you are not in tune with yourself, when you're doing things to impress other people, when you're not, you know, I believe that authenticity is simply, you know, doing things that you want to do, understanding your values, understanding your morals based on your personal experience, based on what you truly believe, and being able to actually represent that and put that forward. It's about really not doing things to conform with societal norms. It's not about, you know, going through and doing things because you think somebody else is going to like it. You know, it's truly understanding what you value and what you really want to represent. Like, for me, why this is so incredibly important is, you know, for the person that I am, for, I guess you could say, my mission statement, whatever it may be, being able to present myself, I want it to be authentic because I am somebody who's always going to be myself. And I want that to be recognized. I need that to be kind of established within the basis. And, you know, it's interesting because the character that I am, it's not regular. We'll say that much. It's not, you know, it's there are a lot of different things that make me who I am, and I'm not trying to kind of, you know, abide by what people want me to be or what you expect or what you think you should be. I personally just am, you know, entirely accepting of who I am. I don't mind about negative opinions. I don't care about those people who may, you know, make judgments. It's simply me being who I am. And I believe that when you are authentic, at least for me, it's offered me so much that I believe everyone really deserves that. And I think that it builds these incredibly strong foundations. It builds great relationships where you're going to be offering people something that's going to be real, it's going to be realistic, and they're going to be, you know, they're going to be getting something that truly is foundationalized with, you know, you being whoever you are. You're not going to, you know, go from one thing to the next. You're not going to be, you know, overly influenced by anything. You are who you are. And I believe that authenticity is one of the strongest characteristics within the current society and how we really are. And, you know, with things like social media, everyone's trying to present themselves in a very specific way. I really believe that you've got to be accepting of exactly who you are. You know, these are along the lines of very similar things that I frequently speak about, but I really think that, you know, authenticity is the basis of it all. It's really just about accepting yourself. It's about not worrying about what anyone thinks. It's about doing what you want to do. It's bloody fundamental, I think, for your personal satisfaction. And realistically, to be authentic is knowing who you are, knowing what your values are, knowing what you want to do. And I think that, again, that's one of the strongest things that you can have, because it really allows you to be anchored by yourself within your own mind, within being who you are, not always looking for these other things that are going to impress other people or make other people, you know, think greatly of you. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks, realistically. At the end of the day, who really cares about all these different things that are coming across from a representation of yourself that isn't actually you? Why does that matter? There's always going to be, going back to the beginning of why do I always do the sneeze? Going back to the basis of it, we recognize this. We recognize inauthentic characters. We recognize when people are not being true to themselves, and that is something that I think is incredibly powerful. You know, that's a brutal way to begin this, but it's got to be recognized so that, you know, if you're in a place where you've been inauthentic, where you've been somebody that may not be true to who you actually are, that allows you just to get kind of put into a place where you can recognize how you truly are able to actually build yourself back up. Because impressing these people who think you're somebody that you're not, you know, what's that really matter? Why does it actually offer you something? And the reason is that it's for the now, but it's not for the future. I really think that it's almost, when you are inauthentic, it provides you with this, it's like a lack of understanding who you are, but it's this misplaced sense of identity. And 5 years down the track, you're going to look back and you're going to think, oh, I wasn't actually, you know, I wasn't being who I was, I wasn't being true to myself, and, you know, it ends up making you a lot less satisfied in the long term than you may initially perceive. And this is why I really think that authenticity is the basis of it all. You have to be accepting of yourself, and once you've built that acceptance, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. You simply going out there to do what you want to do, entirely based on what you want to do, based on your goals, based on your morals, based on your values, based on principles, all of these different things. That is the only thing that matters. You've got to be true to yourself. I want that to be recognized, because I just feel like, unfortunately, so frequently it's beginning to happen at a ridiculous rate, because people want to represent themselves in a way that's going to appear to impress others. And it really doesn't provide you with as much as I'm sure you right now think that it would. And if you are a character who is authentic to themselves, you understand who you are and you're true to that, I want you to understand how pleased I am that you're like that, because it is a characteristic, and it's a principle that so frequently is becoming less and less likely to be presented, which is unfortunate. It really is unfortunate, because I believe that, authentic characters are the ones who really are going to be able to provide the most, and that's because they're based on their own values. They're not going to be taking everything from everything else. I really, as I said, we are evolving beings. That comes down to understanding that, we are going to be migrating, our thought patterns are going to be changing. We're not always going to be who we are right now. We are maturing consistently. Even if you're 12, 50, 80, whatever it may be, and everything in between, we're constantly learning more. We're always taking more information on board, and we're never really stopping in those regards. But you've just got to understand that it comes from a place of wanting to do things for you, not wanting to do things to impress people who don't really actually matter to you. It's the basis of it truly is just not doing it to impress people who don't matter. Not doing it to impress or be at a status level where you think that your peers are going to see you in a particular way. Just being exactly who you are and being bloody proud of it. Because it's a strong thing. It really, really is strong. Not only in the way that it's represented, but more so than anything, within your heart, if you know that you're being true to yourself, and that level of self-acceptance, but being content, and I guess building your self-esteem up to that kind of level, it's bloody powerful, because you're not going to be worrying so much about this digital noise. All these other opinions aren't going to be impacting you, because it doesn't bloody matter. You understand that whatever's going on out there, whatever anyone thinks about you, you're not doing it to impress them anyway, so why would it matter? This is the basis of me personally, why I've actually developed myself the way that I have, because I am accepting of who I am. And I don't want this to sound like I'm trying to put myself in a place where I am whatever you want to think. I'm not trying to be up my own ass. I just recognize that for me, this has offered me an incredible amount, and understanding the perspective and the landscape of where it currently is and how people are being inauthentic, and the frequency of that, especially with social media, I really want to be able to share that. This is the base of me sharing things that I've seen work, things that I personally have experienced, and understanding what works for me. That's why I want to be able to share it. And I really think that, it can just be as simple as taking a step back sometimes. It's going to be difficult. It can be very, very frustrating. It can be difficult, but that frustration is built on expectation. You've got to eliminate those expectations. Don't expect so much of yourself, just accept yourself. Build the foundations of acceptance and appreciation for exactly who you are. Exactly who you are. Every single thing that has led you to where you are today is where you're supposed to be. And all you can do is build from it. And the way to do that is the foundation of acceptance. And then you can build your fort from there, which is going to have that security within yourself that is eliminating the insecurities. And that's where all these other opinions come in, and they just, they battle you down, because you've got these insecurities that constantly are going to be slapped at. And they're going to be poked and prodded. That doesn't happen when you have this foundation of acceptance for yourself. I really do believe this, and I really want you to take it on board and understand how you may be able to implement just these little steps along the way. Understanding within yourself how things may be inauthentic, be proud of recognizing them. Don't think, oh, damn, I'm already in too deep, or whatever it may be. Just recognize within yourself that you have the opportunity to truly feel fulfilled within yourself by understanding that all these other opinions don't really matter. It's what's within yourself that truly does matter. So, yeah, I hope you can take this on board, and I really hope that it does offer you a little bit of value, and even just, recognizing it and how you may be able to help others along the way as well, because it's not, it's not always something that people do purposefully. Often it's based on these insecurities that don't get addressed, I guess you could say, and that's when you start to build a, you know, let's just say there's a bump in the road and then you've got this big old crevice in the road, or you've got a hole in it, and then you paper mache something across the top, and then a big old rainstorm comes down and you're going along that road one day, paper mache that really covered that hole, it's not going to be there, and it's going to be real bloody bumpy, and you can always try and build it back up, but the foundations aren't going to be there. You've got to solidify something within yourself that's going to allow you to smooth sail throughout all of these different opinions that come on board, and just allow yourself to truly be accepting of whatever they may be, because the self-esteem and the acknowledgement and acceptance truly comes from within you and within your heart, because you know that you are who you are and you're the best version of who you can be, and that's exactly who you are right now. So yeah, I appreciate your time, and I will most definitely catch you on the flip side. Farewell.